everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Loven Stamp Studio. My name is Meg. If you haven't met me before, I'm really excited to meet you. And if you're a regular, welcome back. It's good to see you again on this odd day. It is actually Friday, so happy Friday to you. Not even pre-Friday. So thank you guys for tuning in today. Make sure you say hi in the comments if you're here and so forth. Whether you're watching now or whether you're watching later on the recording, I am glad that you can be here for this fun Friday version of Maker Mornings with Meg. So today's card is a pop-up, which is actually a really simple one, and I've shared a couple of these kind of recently, and so I think you might find it kind of familiar, but this one has just a couple little twists, and we are going to talk about, we're going to talk Stampin' Blends here. I have a whole mess of these, and we are doing them in an 80s color palette, which is always really fun. And for our 80s color palette, we are pulling colors from the On The Go Designer Series paper. So this guy is right here. And this paper makes me really happy. It pulls back all those colors from sort of that time period. And I'll tell you my favorite piece of this suite when we get there. I think you'll get a kick out of it. Anyway, I think with that, we are probably ready to go ahead and get started on our card. Hey, Tanya, I know it's an off day, so our usual friends are kind of finding us on this differently scheduled day of the week here. So, all right, so we're gonna switch our camera over, and let's talk a little bit about this bridge card. So, all right, so I have a cardstock here. This cardstock is 4 1/4 inches tall, so sort of standard card height size, but the east side is going to be the horizontal is going to be a little different. We're cutting this down to 8 inches. Hey Lori, we'll catch you later. Oh yeah, hey Kelly, happy Friday. Hi Sue. So we are going to have 4 1/4 by 8 inches for our card base, and then we're going to go ahead and score at 1 1/4 inches. Ignore the here, I'll put them in so that it makes a little more sense. 1 1/4 inches, 2 1/2 inches, 5 1/2 inches, and 6 3/4 inches. So pretend that there's one right here, okay? So once you've got that scored, then we're going to fold up, on the score lines like this. I don't know about you guys, it is so humid here today where I live in central Illinois that cardstock is like really, really pliable. If this was a day that I needed to like bend cardstock or warp cardstock or something, this would be a good day for it because it's not crispy, it's kind of mushy. It's kind of funny. So we're going to fold up here on these score lines and then back on these next two, so we have sort of this little shape here. When this card goes in an envelope, it's going to go in flat on one side and bent up on the other side so that this is envelope shaped and sized. And then this is going to give us a really nice palette across here to work with. And I didn't show you what stamp set we're using. I should do that. The stamp set we're going to feature with our On The Go paper is Adventure Together. So Adventure Together is this fun camper set. It does have a set of coordinating die cuts that include the extra little elements here. We're going to use some of these today. And we're going to go ahead and do some Stampin' Blends coloring here. So, all right, let's go ahead and get our blends out. So I'm using my Memento ink pad. Remember, when you are using Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers. So you are going to want to use a water-based ink pad, okay? Because we don't want the same solvent on our inks that we have on our markers. So we're gonna need our little flame campfire there. And if you are a camper or not, this Adventure Together camper stamp set is for you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a camper to use it or send it or appreciate it. You just have to, like, I don't know, puns or whatever. Is happy campers a pun? Maybe. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stamp on here, and then we're going to come back to our strip here because this is going to be kind of a special bridge card version. All right, so what colors did I choose and how did I pick them? I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, and the color in our paper is actually crushed curry. Sometimes with the yellows, I change things up just a little bit. I kind of like the brighter yellow for the windows here, and so I'm going to go ahead and use Daffodil Delight instead of crushed curry. but crushed curry is a good color too. And I'm going to give this a little bit of color here. Now, a lot of times on Stampin' Blends, sorry if I'm holding my hand over where you can see, a lot of times on Stampin' Blends, I am really vigilant about adding in shading and some extra color. We're going to talk a little bit about where I'm going to apply shading in this card, but for the most part, I'm going to call this a simple coloring element. So the plants are green, and we're just adding some fun camper accents. I'm not going to worry too much about adding a lot of shading as we move around here in our project. So I'll talk about where we're going to add that here when we get to our camper. All right, so we're going to make all these little circles there, and then we're going to add some melon mambo here. So that was, oh, okay. I didn't even realize, but this is fine. I'll use my bullet tip here for a little bit better control. Remember the Stampin' Blends markers have 2 tips. Well, Stampin' Right markers do too. They have 2 tips, one for a bullet tip for writing and more precise coloring, and a wide tip then, a brush tip for doing more coloring. So actually this would be better done here with a brush tip, in my opinion. It just gives you a little bit more color flow and a little bit wider kind of swath for some sort of art, but it really is up to you and how you like to color. Now on this tiny little piece right here, probably bullet tip is the best choice, so we'll go ahead and stick with it there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add some color to our stairs here, and now we'll come back with our blue. Now on the, hi Linda, oh hi Inika, today's Friday, not Thursday. Yeah, I know, Inika, today is Friday. I posted a note yesterday to say that I was going to be here on Friday instead of Thursday this week. We had a campus visit to go to, so doing all the rounds of things like that these days. So I wasn't able to be here yesterday. So I was in Texas, actually. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and color, and I'm going to give my camper this once over with Azure Afternoon. These colors, I started to say, and then distracted myself, shocker, come from the On The Go Designer Series paper. And so all I'm doing is pulling colors directly from that paper, because then I know that they're going to go really well with the Designer Series paper. All right, now in this case, I'm going to use my blends to do a little shaping of things. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of color. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see. I'm going to give it a little bit of extra color here under the window box, okay, and a little bit under the plants. I'm going to give it a little extra color under the awning here, okay, and then I'm going to give it a little extra color kind of around like the bottom of the door frame, the bottom of the camper, maybe in these little grill elements, things like this, okay. And what that's going to do is it's just going to give that camper just a little extra bit of shape instead of being quite so flat. You guys see how that works? All right. So you don't have to do a ton of coloring with your blends necessarily to make them, fabulous and shaped and so forth, but just a little bit will go a long way in adding some extra, the feel of shaping. It's really subtle. You probably don't even notice it when you're looking, or sort of the average person who didn't think about coloring wouldn't notice it, but it makes a difference in how it's perceived. So, all right, now we have our 2 pieces. So here we have the dies, and we're gonna use, actually, I love this tire track one. This certainly has good potential. We're gonna use this die here, and then I need my 2 here. Of the dies in here, these little camera dies are super cute. There's little tire dies. You can make little tires for your RV. And we're going to go ahead and pop this on. So like I said, you don't have to be a camper to appreciate this set or make really fun cards from it. So let's see, did I make this a little bit too close here? I think my washi tape's just in a bad spot. Pop this across here. So one of my favorite things about my visit to Texas was getting to catch up with demonstrator friend Amy Story. So that was really neat. It's always fun to have stamping friends all over the place, right? Hey, Joanne. All right, I'm going to switch you guys over and come with me to our die cutting here. And we're going to do this die cut really quickly, And then I'm actually going to show you here. I'm going to die cut. Hello. I'm going to die cut here on the top of our Happy Camper element. And so this one is definitely best. I'm going to put some fresh washi tape on it. Sometimes I leave my washi tape on if I'm cutting something over and over and over again. But if I'm need something to really hold, that's worth it to take a little bit of fresh washi tape. And speaking of washi tape, if you are getting one of the project kits for my Sweet Escape that's coming up next Wednesday, those are going in the mail today, and you're going to get your own washi tape with, so you too will have your very own Stampin' Up! Washi tape. Alright, so I've got my pieces die cut here. I'll set those there to show you. But I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to move my die. So I've got this part cut over on this side, but I need a little bit cut at the other end. So I'm just going to move my die over and do a little bit more cutting. And I'll show you how that looks here in a second. But the fun thing about this card is that our bridge element is going to have this extra little shaping, which really sort of takes it to the next level, and it really brings in the theming because this little grass die is so much fun. So here's the first one that I cut right here. So now our Happy Campers has a little bit of grass on the top of it, and I'm not going to worry about this because the middle isn't going to show anyway. And so then I just move my die over to extend that, and I'm going to just tear that off there. Okay, so this is going to be our bridge element. I set this back in here, and then here are our little camper and campfire to go along. Okay, and again, sometimes I think this washi tape has reached the end of its run, so I'm gonna drop that in my scrap bin there. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna show you. We're gonna finish putting this card together, and then I actually have 3 more projects with this on the go suite to show you. I think you guys are gonna like those. All right, we're back to our bridge card. So what other pieces do we need for this project? We need a center panel. This is a little bit narrower than 3 by 4, and it's always safest. This one's a little too long. Here, I'll show you what I mean there. It's always safest to double check here. So I've got this one scored and folded. And then if I try and fold this, do you see how the designer series paper pops because it's just a tiny bit too wide? So what I'm gonna do before I glue anything down, sometimes I forget, I glue and then I'm like stuck. But before I glue anything down, it's much easier to correct for this. I'm just gonna take a sliver here off. And I love that it's easy to cut a sliver with our trimmer tool there. It's a really good one. And now I can take this and pop this in the center here. So this is going to go in here. And let's see now, now my card folds correctly so that this can go either way. And then on the inside pieces here, I'm gonna go ahead and put a panel. This is actually a card that I think I shared this card at Loven Stampful's Stampin' Share Zoom, one of our Team Friday night meetings that we do. Those are a lot of fun. I always get good ideas from everybody. We've had some fun guest presenters too. So if you're watching now and you're a Loven Stampful's demonstrator, let me know if you would like to be a presenter at one of our Friday night Zooms. Or if you're not a Loven Stampful's demonstrator and you've been thinking about becoming a demonstrator, I'd love to help you get started. So more on my website. All right, so there we have our 1-inch strips. So those are 1 inch by 4. And now we have those set there on each side, okay? Now the bridge is going to be this strip here, and it is always 5.5 inches wide because that is what is going to make this form a pop-up card here like this, all right? This is also where I love to use multi-purpose liquid glue because it gives you a second to just adjust and make sure that your pieces are in the right place. Now, really important, do not put glue past the 1 inch mark here or here because you don't want to glue your card shut. So what I'm going to do is the best way to make sure your card is going to close to go in the mail is to go ahead and make it flat right at this point. So fold up 1/2, lay the other half straight out, and then lay this on about like this. Make sure it's straight, and then just wait. It's really tempting to want to like make it pop up already and look, and how cute is that? But you have to wait. You really want this to be completely flat and attached. There, that should be good. before you start to mess with it, okay? And now you can play with that and see how fun it is, and the pieces go back and forth and so forth, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add a tag here. So this tag is straight out of the paper, the designer series paper here. This is the on the go piece here with the tag sheets. You can see where I cut a couple of tags out of this. There's lots and lots of different choices here, so you can use these for all kinds of different good things. And then, oh, doesn't want to go back in the package. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to build our scene here. So when you attach this, first of all, I'm going to put some ribbon on. And to do that, I'm going to use one of the hole punch assortment punches. I love this one with this little, I don't know, what do you call that? Sort of like, I don't know. It's like the typical tag punch. And so I'm going to go ahead and punch that right across there so you can see. And now I have some ribbon. This is the 1/4 inch white ribbon. It's named very creatively, white 1/4 inch ribbon. And we're going to take a piece of this and just tie, I kind of all the bows that I like to tie, I kind of like just the really simple one where I just tie these two pieces together. So someplace here are some paper snips. Here's a pair. And when I visited Amy, we were stamping together because I had a Zoom with our VIP, our Maker Club Zoom on Wednesday. And so I was stamping with Amy and doing our Zoom. And I said, oh, do you have a pair of paper snips? And she said, what kind? What are you cutting with them? And I said, paper. And she said, okay. So she actually keeps 2 pair of paper snips, and she has one set aside to be used for ribbon so that you always have a super sharp pair for ribbon, and one to be used for paper. And the idea there's sort of like, you know, if your mom had sewing scissors that are only used for sewing, cutting fabric, never for paper, it's that kind of idea. So if you think about that, I thought it was a great idea actually. With a label maker, I could probably even remember which ones are which. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop our tag on there. So it made me want to get new paper snips and set them aside for just ribbon cutting. All right, now I'm going to attach our tag by putting our dimensionals onto our strip here, rather than, I'm going to put more than I usually do just to make it really stable. I'm going to put them onto the strip rather than on the back of the tag. If I put them on the back of the tag, there's a high likelihood that I miss and then they steal our card shut, okay? Because I need them to not make things stick to the card background. So instead of putting them on the tag, I'm putting them on the card base. And that way I can very easily know that our elements are going to hold our tag here, okay? So there's going to be our fun element here. And I could have put designer series paper on all these panels across, but I kind of like this yellow on the background because it just really like highlights that. It kind of sets up that background. So now we're going to add our camper, and I'm going to add more dimensionals because why not? And our camper is going to be kind of sitting here on the grass, so I'm going to make it on a horizontal line that goes with our bridge. And I also have our little campfire to put in front here. And so we're going to pop this on right here out front of our camper on that same horizontal line. All right, and then we have sort of our fun element. And then you can decide, do you want to put it this way in your envelope, or do you want to put it this way in your envelope? I think either one are really a good choice. Okay, but we need an embellishment on here. And so here is where we bring in our on-the-go Puffy stickers. And I have used a lot of these already. You get 2 sheets. And they range from little arrows and little "you are here" kind of dots to little fun accents. And then these tags actually cover some of the dies from the Tags to Go stamp set. So that stamp set that's actually included in this suite. And so we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull some of these, and then I'm going to show you some more projects. And I have to tell you that my favorite thing about these is I am a child of the early 80s. And I had a sticker book with tons and tons of stickers in it. Puffy stickers were, of course, the best thing to have, right? They were like the pinnacle achievement. And these stickers, I'm smelling them, the package smells like Puffy stickers from the 80s. It's got that same sort of plasticky Puffy sticker smell. And I love it. It's such a reminiscent kind of thing. I love that scents can bring back memories and like put you in an actual place. And so as I'm smelling, and they're not super horribly strong. Once you take them out of the package, you don't keep smelling them or anything. But so actually, if you want to preserve the smell, just keep that all sealed up in there. But they just totally launched me back. And in my memories, I'm wearing a light gray sweatshirt with pink and soft green. Actually, pink and this is shaded spruce. What am I doing? No wonder that was weird. Shy Shamrock. Pink and Shy Shamrock puffy paint on it. Probably dinosaurs or something like that, right? Anybody else have that sweatshirt? All right. If you have a puffy paint sweatshirt memory from the 80s, be sure to leave it in the comments so that we can all appreciate those throwbacks together. All right, so you can see that this fun puffy paint accent just really adds a neat little bonus to our card. And so then this is a bridge card, so it stands up this way, it lays down this way. You can really appreciate it. And it is a card that moves, so when someone pulls it out of the envelope, it likes to pop up and then they can set it someplace for display. Just really, really cute. All right, were puffy stickers a thing in Europe too? Inika, did you guys have those? I don't know. Okay, so other projects with this. I wanted to show you some of these. The stamp set that is included in this suite is Tags to Go, and in the video description for this video, the supply link does include these elements too, since I'm going to show you some other projects with these. So like I said, earlier this week I did our Maker Club video with my friend Lindsay Mann, and if you don't know about Maker Club, you should definitely check it out. It's like a little mini subscription each month where you get a set of supplies and products. It's like a mini product sampler, and it's a really fun way to try out some new things. We often have been featuring some online exclusives that you might miss otherwise. So this month we really featured Tags to Go. And so the suitcases here, this is the little suitcase that I made. There are little suitcase treat boxes in there. We did a couple different things, and I showed how to put a window in the front of them. If you're looking at these dies and you're wondering where these came from, this is, I set this aside so that I would remember to point out to you. These are the Hugs a Bloom dies. Kind of see that there. These are actually the paper pumpkin dies for this quarter. There's a set of paper pumpkin dies that comes out. It's just a little die set each quarter that matches 3 sets of the paper pumpkins that will come out. And these are really fun ones. So this top word up here is actually hugs. And then it has this outstanding label shape, which I've used here and here. And then this fun little flower and leaf set. And the reason I wanted to point this out to you today is the last day of free shipping, and so you will want to definitely check out the free shipping and the chance to get things with that last chance here. So okay, flipping around here. Oop, I've lost my page. This is what happens when I look at my computer instead of what we're doing. All right, so anyway, these little dies here. Here's a fun box. Here is a fun window card that I had showed them. We talked about like making tassels. We try to give extra little tips and stuff on that video. And the window card here features one of those puffy stickers. So this is where the die, so it's this die shape, and it is exactly the same as the puffy sticker from the On The Go puffy sticker. So you can layer those onto here and have these really fun extra little elements. And then this is the other card that I showed, and I used all of the tags from Tags to Go. And we did this little "You're Going Places, Congrats." This would be a really fun graduation card or something. You could even put like a little pocket here on the last element to add a gift card or something like that. So all kinds of fun ideas there. So hopefully you guys are of any age, no matter how old you are, or young you are, or whatever your age is, you are excited about these sort of fun, bright, cheery colors for spring and summer and so forth from this On The Go suite. And if you need a journey back to the 80s, the puffy stickers are hands down a way to launch you there. So I hope you guys have had fun with these projects today. Thanks for finding me here on our Friday version of let's see. Oh, there we go. Thanks for finding me here on our Friday version of Maker Mornings with Meg. I know, like, put you together. Oh, did you think Sue thought maybe I was saying puppy stickers? No, Puffy. I will work to enunciate better. But Puffy stickers. They are puffy too. They're very dimensional. So I will be back on Tuesday next week with an episode of Maker Mornings with Meg for you. It'll be our last April episode, I think. Yeah, our last April episode. So, which reminds me to point out that if you want to qualify for the Loven Stamps monthly tutorials, it's beautiful bokeh and beautiful butterflies stamp set is our feature. And so if you'd like to qualify for those, make sure you get your order in before the end of April. Any size order, you get the tutorials. If your order is $60 or more, then you get the 2 card kits or 2 project kits in the mail for those projects from me, plus a 12 video bonus class, 12 video bonus class, yeah, from the Creative Stamping Collective. So lots of extra perks. And of course, if you're shopping today, you want your order to be $75 or more so that you can go ahead and take advantage of free shipping. So kind of a big deal. I think that covers us for this actual Friday edition of Maker Mornings with Meg. And if you have any questions, as always, let me know. And I will see you next week for another episode. So don't forget to check the last chance list too. Lots of really great things on there, and we're running down towards the end of this and the beginning of the new catalog on May 6th. So, all right, happy stamping, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Oh, I didn't tell you. Maybe I did mention the Lovely Garden Sweet Escape kits are in the mail, shipping. So you will be having those soon if you place an order for one. If you didn't place an order for one and you're kind of like, oh, I still wanted to do that, totally you can. If you get your order in today, there's a link in the video description. It may still arrive by our Wednesday class. If not, no big deal. You can watch the class on Wednesday and then make your projects afterwards. So I think that will be a really fun one and lots of really great techniques to share. So everybody can see that class on Wednesday night. It's going to be here on the Loven Stamps channel. But if you want the project kit with all of the supplies in it, it's like a little mini product share. Actually, it includes the coordinated cardstock, a half pack of DSP, a half pack of a whole bunch of extra little elements and technique-y things, a washi tape roll, like I said, some embellishments and some gold twine and so forth. Then you can still get in their chance to order this and make the most of having the pieces there. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes the effort involved, oh, there's a window sheet in here too. I'm just looking. Sometimes the effort of like finding all the things is a little bit daunting. So the nice thing about getting a class kit like this is that all the pieces are in there. You don't have to go searching for stuff. So check link in the video description. It's called the Lovely Garden Sweet Escape. You can also see more information on my Loven Stamps website on the blog. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for us. Have a wonderful weekend. I wish you a very, very good chance to get some creativity in, do some crafting, enjoy your time. And I will be back on Tuesday with a regular time, regular place episode of Maker Mornings with Meg. So happy stamping, everybody.